quarterback, Josh Allen. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Bills come to the line to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They run it with Jacobs. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And now they'll throw with Allen. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He'll try and run it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Second and 8. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
Offense.
So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now Allen. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. From the gun, Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Zach Ertz there to make the grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Point after here coming up. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a second down.
38-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Pass incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, it's Murray. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Chicago. .43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here, and it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
At the 22-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Allen. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen, and that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Chicago offense set to get started. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, two-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Murray. This is the tight end fan. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Balled at the 26, 2nd and 7. From the gun, Murray. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. And in a 2-score game, obviously every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now Murray again. That into the hands of his tight end, Holtz.
That's good.
And the Bears are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Murray to air it out again. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Credit the sack to Leighton Vander Esch.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
Number 31.
2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today.
A 29-yard attempt.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game.
Makes the score Bills 17, Bears 9.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Taken in at the 3. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Allen. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. I'm surprised with the lead in a 1-score game this late. They're even putting the ball in the air in that situation.
Almost makes me feel like the head coach might be second-guessing himself by not clicking on and saying, all we're doing is running it here. But give credit to the guys on defense. They made a play that they absolutely had to have to give themselves a chance to be in this game.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. A carry here for the big tight end. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. To throw is Murray. His throw incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch at that spot.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Play action. Now it's Murray. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense